Maybe I can also use this moment to already talk about the next workshop, which is we actually have a date change. So the Queer Outdoors workshop or seminar, which is supposed to happen on the 8th, will now happen on the 20th. And the upcoming workshop will be the digital storytelling story map workshop with me on next Monday, the 13th. So we'll have all our workshops on this Monday at the same time period. So at 4 p.m. Central Eastern Time. And in this workshop, so in the digital storytelling workshop, we're gonna assist in communicating the story of your home river with access to ArcGIS story maps. So I'll pop in a link to the story map that we created last year. And this was a story map for all of the Home River Bioblitzes that we have. But this year we want to create a collection of all of your stories. So we'll go through basic storytelling elements, as well as being able to come up with a concept of being able to share your story before you get out in the field, and also a bit of a prep list. So what's really important when you're wanting to tell a story is to be able to capture the media beforehand. So what kind of footage you want to capture. So of course you'll be taking pictures of all the species, but you want to share the story about your home river, why you want to protect it, why you want to learn more about it. You want to be able to take pictures of the group, of the setting, and particular videos. So you want to be able to have that list before. And then in the workshop, we'll also go through a simple structure. So you don't need to be an expert at storytelling. You just need to be curious. And so there's a really easy way to create a story map with the material capture, or you can be as creative as you want. And I'll go over through some basic sort of technical introduction. And then you can sign up for a time period. You have 3 to 4 days, however, after your Home River Bioblitz to create the story. So whoever wants to join that and create a Home River Bioblitz story map, then at the end, we're going to have a whole library of all of the different rivers around the world, which will be really beautiful. So yeah, just stay tuned. You'll get an email about that. And then that'll be next Monday.
Yeah, and we will also have like a queer outdoors chat with people from the queer community to make so naturalism and going out and exploring nature more inclusive. I think most of the people are actually tired. There are some, Natalie was also like, yeah, let's do it. But I think let's leave it like this for now. We really appreciate you being here. And we will have the opportunity to share all our pictures about our rivers and the stories in these other workshops. And also at the end of the Home River Bioblitz, we have a recap session where we tell each other our stories, our encounters with other species. So I think we will leave that place for networking and also to get to know each other a bit better. So now we can rest our eyes because it's already a long session. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add. Okay. Vera, do you have to add anything, or Carlos, or is this everything and we just go to rest?
Not from my side. Excited to go out to the river and to see your observations coming in and to meet afterwards again, right?
I just want to address James. There was a very good questions about the ethics of handling arthropods or insect. I think that was a really good question, and I think you should just share.
Yeah, yeah. I typed a quick response in the chat, but I'll say it out loud as well. So in insects, if you're able to see one, there's probably 1,000 that you can't see. They reproduce in large numbers, and they are so much more common than your average animal. So they don't have the brains to get traumatized or scared if you capture them. They don't really have the processing for that. So as long as you're not physically damaging their bodies while you capture them, if you catch one, put it in a jar, take a picture, let it go, it will be fine. And even if it does get damaged, as an entomologist, I collect insects and I freeze them, I pin them, but we know that they are both common enough and reproduce often enough that taking one out of the ecosystem isn't going to cause harm. You're going to do a lot more damage with pollution and pesticides and things like that than taking one insect would ever do.
Great info.
Thank you.
Is that a huge debate in your field, whether it's like, is that a common question that you get from people that are not in your field?
Yeah, it's definitely a common question from outside the field, because it's pretty different from other biology fields where you're not really asking people to capture stuff. But just because things are small and it's really hard to interact with them if you don't have them close up, it's really the only way to do entomology. It's always you especially gets more contentious when you're doing larger scale studies, when people are taking tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of insects. That's when things can start getting concerning. But for common species, people doing citizen science, it's about as good as it can be.
Oh, thank you, James. I think it's a really big discussion actually in ecology, and it's changing. Like the professors or the ecologists from before didn't care much as the new ecologists about the well-being of the species that are being studied. From my discussions among peers. Thank you, James. Thank you all again for being here. It was a long session, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you next Monday for the storytelling session with Cara, Mike, and me. So yeah, I think that will be it for now, and I wish you a very beautiful morning, evening, midday, or well, whatever you are. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for hosting this.
Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Cara.